2.5-story detached house with lift, basement and pool.
Almost brand new and fully renovated.
Multi-purpose basement with heated lap pool and jacuzzi.
Stay tuned to find out more about this iconic masterpiece at Seletar Hills in this episode of Huttons Landed Division
Live Open House.
Hi, my name is Sean.
I'm Irene.
Welcome to this episode of Huttons Landed Division's Live Open House. So Irene, where are we today?
Oh, today we are in this beautiful estate at Seletar Hills.
Right, so what are we going to feature today? Why is so special about this house?
Okay, we are going to feature a 2.5-story detached house with basement, pool and lift. And the best thing is it's almost brand new.
Right, so District 28 actually holds a very interesting part in our division's heart. Firstly, we actually featured a pair of brand new detached that was already both have been sold this year alone. So District 28 is actually often characterized by a lot of value, right? Why value per se? Land sizes here are much larger, but in relation to the bigger district, all right? Earlier we featured this year was in Jalan Kayu. Now in Seletar Hills, this area actually has a lot more to offer per se. All right, so starting off, this is where this house is actually located very close to the park that we just walked up from. This is actually Jalan Selaseh Park. Right, this is one of the many parks within this estate. Not to mention, you can notice the backdrop. This is one of two, rows of shop houses that actually serves the community within this estate itself. And of course, to my left, this will be one of the more popular Selaseh coffee shops and one of the main entrances, one of many entrances into the estate itself. Right, Irene, maybe you can share more. What's nearby here?
Okay, nearby we have the Greenwich Mall and as well as the Seletar Mall. We also have childcare and preschools within 1 kilometer. And for schools-wise, we have roadside and lunchhour within 1 to 2 kilometer, or Hougang Primary School within 1 kilometer.
Right, so indeed, not only have the convenience of having the blend of value, the accessibility to amenities and the parks, and within a short drive, in fact, actually here we can easily access to Jalan Kayu area, and beyond that also the Seletar Aerospace. These are very, very popular hangout areas. And in addition to that, Ang Mo Kio, Hougang, all these are just really a stone's reach away. All right? So without further ado, we'll actually join with our colleagues, Vico and Raymond, to share more about why we have chosen this house to be featured in this final episode of the year's Live Open House.
Hi, I'm Vico.
I'm Raymond.
Hi, so Raymond, today's Live Open House is a very special episode because, in a month, it's 12 months and today is actually the last episode of our Live Open House.
Yes, exactly.
So why have we chosen this unique property to showcase on the last episode for 2024?
So a little bit of history about this particular house itself. The owners has actually bought this place brand new, rebuilt 3 years back. And later on, you shall see why the owners have actually pumped in more than $1 million in terms of renovation for this particular house itself. And just a little bit about the house. What you see here is actually a 2.5-story detached house. So this sits on the land of close to 4,963 square feet, 999 leasehold. And the build-up itself, you will come to see that it's actually close to 8,333 square feet, very sizable. You'll find 5 ensuite bedrooms. Most importantly, you'll get a lift. You will have a very surprising basement as well. And Vico, in particular about District 28, how does this house position itself uniquely within the district itself?
Okay, so with over 10 brand new transactions just in District 28 alone.
Right.
So it's clear that there's still a strong demand for brand new houses. So how does this unit compare to other properties?
Right.
So with a similar land size of about almost 5,000 square feet and a cost of about 1,300 to 1,400 for the land itself, it translates to about 6.5 million. And
I
with
see.
the cost of rebuilding and we have a basement, full-fledged of basement, all this will, so with this unique property that we are showing you today, this will translate to a very good buy for you if you want to save on time and also money.
All right, so Vico, we can't wait to show you this unique property that's right behind us. Oh,
Right.
Sean and Irene just came back from the short walk from the park.
Yes.
Hi, hello.
Hi, Vico.
Yeah.
Welcome back.
Right, so I'm sure you have seen the short walk that we have taken from Selassie Park, Selassie Coffee Shop, all the way to this unit itself. Very convenient kind of accessibility. Right, from Yio Chu Kang Road itself, it's actually just a turn in, and just within a short drive, we are going to reach this unit itself. So first and foremost, I think what's really unique, I noticed walking up this street, is the kind of wideness that the street has to offer. Right, so you have ample space for parking along this road itself for visitors. And not to mention, I think the owners have done very interestingly. You notice the kind of landscaping they've done, also created even for this little patch outside. Right, the blend that they have for the outside, outdoors, all the way to the indoors itself. So maybe Vico, maybe share with me a little bit more. How has this house kind of transformed in terms of the flexibility of the frontage?
Yeah. So if you can see, the frontage here is almost 12 meters. Then with the auto gate spanning about 5 meters, it allows multiple cars. I mean, we can have 3 cars over here, but in and out, you can have cars moving without having to touch the other car.
I think that's quite an important, unique feature. I think most of the houses that we feature
correct.
actually have flexibility to have 2 concurrent cars going in and out. Right? Not to mention the wider gate. I think the kind of presence that the house actually impedes amongst the rest of the neighbors. Actually, the grandeureness is there. Right? It's unique that the gate is somewhat in the center. Right? So it kind of facilitates cars on either side of the house.
Definitely.
Okay, and a bit more about the facade itself. I think this is something quite unique in the sense the kind of choice of the contemporary style. A lot of grey tones, you notice, with the infusion of a lot of wood accents. All right. So I think what I really like is the awning itself. All right. So for detached, I think what's very important is that we often forget that detached only occupies only 50% of the entire footprint of the house itself. Right. So in place of how it's been designed. So this house actually has a provision still for 3 cars inside, probably 2 outside. But what it has installed is actually towards the rear of the house, where there's going to be a very, very massive backyard garden space for your recreation purposes. Okay, beyond that, Irene, maybe you can share a little bit more about the facade.
Okay, this house actually you can see that there's also a built-in shoe cabinet here. Okay, the color is greyish, which blends in very well with the overall theme of the car porch. And then the door with the main door here would be the height is 2.9 meters and the width is 1.7 meters.
That's quite impressive, grand kind of opening. And I like it that, it's offset to the side. So that's not running through the gate. I think most of you viewers out there are very particular. We have a few feedback.
Yes.
Why the door, straight away go up the road. At least this one is at the side. Okay, what I also like is that they have a large format kind of sliding panels. All right, so they have access and lighting coming in from all sides, actually for a detached itself. So I think that's something really, really important. Okay, so without further ado, can't wait to show you what we'll review to you for the rest of level 1. So stepping in, first thing you'll be really feeling the contrast, right? Outside we have the grey accents with the wooden trims. Inside is a complete different feel, right? This is more earthy tones.
Yes.
So there's a lot to talk about. I think living room is often the most precious kind of room in any house. It makes a bold statement, all right?
Yes.
So first and foremost, being a detached, you enjoy a lot of natural lighting and ventilation on both sides. So first thing, maybe Irene can share more about the fixtures.
Okay, the sliding door is of a height of 2.9 meters. They're actually of a European profile from Rochetti. So open up, you can actually enjoy the greenery and the side, which are the nice landscaping, thoughtfully planned and designed by the owner with the maintenance by professional.
Yeah, I think a lot of thought also comes into the kind of choices of plants and everything to kind of blend also for maintenance wise as well.
Yes, definitely.
Right? And I think over here, what's very unique is how they have managed to space the kind of provisions, the lift, the staircase, because this is a fairly wide interior,
Yes.
right, Irene?
Yes.
So this is about
6.7 by 7.3
7
meters.
Yeah,
Yes.
more than 7 meters wide. Actually, you have a lot of usable space. So
Yes.
one thing that the owners have done and splurged quite a bit is in the ID aspect. So you notice even from where I'm standing, all this kind of fluted panel, and not to mention, later we take a closer look, all the walls are actually wallpapered. It's not just painted.
Yes.
So all these are all curated to blend in. Everything is harmoniously with the earthy tones.
Yes.
And not to mention the kind of lighting systems.
Of course, even the ceiling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this will easily be my favorite part of this living room. I can talk about it to the evening time. So what they've done very cleverly is that they have actually separated two cove lighting systems.
Yes.
Right? In place, what they've done is there's actually two the ducted aircon runs parallel on both sides. So they have this accent trims, and all these are off bronze, a little bit towards rose gold, to kind of give you the feel of a much larger space per se. All right, the way they have stretched out and kind of positioned all these linear lines.
Yes.
So again, a lot of lighting coming in from the sides as well. These are all the fixed panels. So this will be a little pocket sneak view, from outside on both ends itself.
Yes.
So tell me more about the living room. What do you like about it?
Oh, actually, I like this imported sofa and the space, and also I like the height, which is of 3.3 meters high of the ceiling, and also this beautiful crystal chandelier hanging down.
Yes, indeed. I think this is the dream of most of the misses, to incorporate a chandelier of sorts. Yes. Usually you find this in the dining area, but here you have a lot of space to actually curate it within the living area.
Yes.
Okay, and bonus is behind us. This is again a very integrated kind of TV console, right, with a marble-like backdrop. All right, this actually is a very slim profile. Everything is built to size. You notice nothing is really out of place or out of size within this house itself. So the best part about it is standing from where I am, you have this unparalleled view of your car porch. Again, you have very large format sliding panels. So imagine you have two cars with another two cars, or you have guests visiting, especially if, let's say, you have, you host a lot, you have a lot of parties. So this will be a very sufficient staging area already as it is for the living room. Lots of topics to talk about, lots of, encouragements like, wow, you've done so much about this house, how much have you spent, etc., etc.
The owner spent close to more than 1 million in interior.
Interior itself?
Just to do up the house.
So you can see for houses itself, there's various aspects of pricing or costing. Comes down to, translates loosely to the eventual closing price. All right, land is one aspect.
Yes.
Structure is another one. Of course, the age of the house. The last one is really about the interior. Yes. Some can spend quite a hefty amount just to curate the space. Right? Yes. So we're seeing the living room. Now let's move on to the center portion. So you see, it's very equally sized into three parts.
Yes.
Okay, this portion, I think Irene has been waiting to really review and share with you more about the staircase portion.
Okay, actually, this is one of my favorite of the house. Okay, this is actually an acrylic chandelier. The height of it is 12 meters. It's actually engineered to perfection because the initial design was only at 1.8 meters. So it's actually one of its kind only in Singapore that makes it exclusive and yet luxurious.
Let's take a look at it. Each piece, I think, is truly unique in a sense.
Yes.
It's folded acrylic itself. So every piece actually forms like an art piece for this house itself. Yes. I think this is really extending down all the way to the basement, which we will showcase later in detail. Yes. All right, so we like that the staircase invites a lot of natural lighting coming in from both sides. They have the fixed panels as well. So it breaks away from the usual, very dull staircase look per se. Right?
Not only that, the staircase are actually tucked in a corner. Yeah, so it's providing a very huge walkway between the dining and the living.
Yeah, indeed, this is one of the wider walkways we've seen. In spite of having the staircase, of course, there's also the lift. So this is also a kind of traction lift, so it's much faster, able to cater for larger loads itself. Again, the smart use of the decoratives to kind of wrap around otherwise what would be a very bland wall, even with the fluted panels on the top itself. And moving forward, this passageway also has no lack of attention to the detail.
Yes.
not only the art pieces that pop, but you can notice all these little granular lines throughout the house. So this actually pulls in the accents and designs from the living area all the way through to the passageway and into the third part, the third of thirds. Yeah. All right. So coming into the rear part of the house. Okay.
Yes.
Again, this will be the guest toilet.
Yes, it's a guest toilet, but take a look at the design. It's actually look at the ceiling lights. You actually can change color. Yeah. So it adds another touch of luxury to the design per se.
I think these are the LED fiber style. I think we've seen some in those luxurious cars, you know, the Maybach and all those things, the whole ceiling. So it gives you a different, unique experience. I think this is something the owners really spared no expense to kind of create the kind of uniqueness, even for a common toilet. All right? And moving forward into the dining area. So this again is a very regularized shape per se. This is almost equal in length, 7 meters, a shy of 6 meters as opposed to the living area. But what you have in place is the clever diffusion of the space per se. So having the dining cleverly tucked on this side, whereas the kitchens are on the other end. So maybe Irene can share more about.
So we have the dining here. You can see that currently this is the setting for 8 people. Okay, so actually you can extend to maybe about 10 or 12 because the space will give provision for it. Yes, and also we have the dry kitchen, which is, it can serve as an island kitchen. So this is actually good if you are like into baking or, you know, just to have breakfast with just maybe smaller household or maybe 2 or 3 people. Yeah.
I like that it's wide enough that, you know, usually the dry kitchens are awkwardly placed most of the time in between the living and the dining. Whereas for a larger detached like this, actually you have the provisions at this corner to have it tucked away neatly here. So you are void of clutter. Right? I think also what you have seen also from where the cameraman is standing, this is the kind of unobstructed feel that the developer was trying to achieve. So from here you can actually see through all the way to the car porch area. All right? And then of course towards the rear, this is where, you know, the beauty of having a detached, you know, having only 50% of the footprint. You only have 3 parking spaces in front, the rest is actually at the rear. So they reserve this for actually, you know, for each family's own unique users. And some of them, they want to deck out this space to have, you know, functions and everything. This will serve like an integration from your outdoor to your indoor. So now it's a bit wet, so we shan't really walk out, but you can see again the gardenscaping that the owners have curated through and through, not only from the back, the front, also the sides of the house.
The owner has spent close to maybe 100 over 1,000 just to do up the garden.
I think plants really soften the look. If not, otherwise structures are, you know, a little bit static. So the choices of all these elements, you know, softens up a lot of the feel to blend in really like the earthy tones for the interior. All right. On top of that, you must be wondering where then can we do the heavy cooking work. All right. So towards my left, so a very convenient access from the dry kitchen opens up to a wet kitchen inside. Okay, so this is fully functional, fully decked out space. So you notice also they were quite clever in the terms of how they actually position all their appliances. There is this thing that we mentioned about the golden triangle rule, whereby the sink, stove, and the fridge actually forms a very dynamic triangle. So it's a very functional form. Not only that, you have the natural ventilation from the sides as well. So the beauty again for detached, doesn't matter which side you're on, you're going to have this good ventilation, good lighting. All right, and beyond me, this portion will be the yard area that also hosts the helper's room itself. So the helper's room, they actually do have independent access through to the side of the house. So let's say if you're on vacation and everything, you can conveniently lock up the interior. So the helper still has access in and out of the house itself. All right, so far we've showcased really what is a very, very efficient space planning, a very, very large provision space for, you know, the living, dining itself. All right. So again, the ceiling heights, and also for the dining area, this whole place is also ducted. Right. So you see level 1 through and through is all ducted. Okay. So on top of that, again, depending on the household sizes itself, a lot of these movables can still be kind of upgraded to your family's needs. But I think what they have done that is generic for most homeowners will be all these static items, even for the usage of the space for the dry kitchen, all this overlay onto otherwise what would be a very normal wall.
Yes.
All right. So with that, actually we have kind of completed level 1 itself. It's quite a lot already in terms of the design elements, so on and so forth. So without further ado, let us take you down to the prime level, in our opinion, the basement. Right, so now we are down into the basement itself. This is truly a one of a kind as well, right?
Yes.
So from the staircase leading down, I think this is where, Irene was earlier mentioning this hanging light design. Actually, eccentrics all the way down to this level itself. So this reminds me a bit of an art gallery,
Yes,
right?
exactly.
Yeah.
Look at the paintings,
Yes.
the displays.
So the lift also conveniently will be tucked in the corner. So this basement actually still has the lift access. Right, and again, the wallpaper kind of theme kind of runs through this level as well. So again, you have a very, very wide opening.
Yes.
So if let's say if you need for more storage, this will be, you can still add on more furnitures.
Yes.
Or shelving systems in this area itself. Okay, then coming to the center portion of the basement, we have one of the larger common baths in this level. All right. So this will be very conveniently located. So usually it's not common to see toilets in the basement itself.
Yes.
Of course, in terms of the logistics, the sewer plants and all those. But this is a much welcome one because beyond this actually services the greater usage of the basement. Okay?
Yes.
And I think this will be a very interesting spot. Maybe Irene can showcase.
Okay, this is actually the entrance to the more than 11 meters lap pool. Okay, but this is just the beginning. The best is yet to come.
Yes. So this is one of two, like Irene mentioned, one of two access to the pool itself. And beyond this, where the cameraman is standing, this actually opens up to a very, very spacious, common entertainment area. So you can see how expensive this whole thing again spans the full width, so-called, of the unit itself. So you can see here they still have some provisions for the wardrobe space. Right here can be a very convenient gym of sorts. They even can have this makes the table tennis table look small. Right, in comparison with the rest of the space. So for those homeowners, let's say you're looking for more entertainment, your karaoke, your movie area, this place can easily be transformed. And the best part is because we're on a lower level than the neighbors, right? Naturally, there's already the kind of sound insulation that you have in this space as opposed to having this on the top floor per se. Okay, and moving towards the rear of the basement, this is easily the highlights of the house itself. Right? How often do we get to see outdoors being indoors? Right? So again, from here, a lot of things to absorb straight away. First is that you can see the ceiling heights. Usually we have very, very short basement levels, about 2.4 meters and such. Right? But here we have an expansive, almost close to 3 meters in terms of the height. And again, a lot of the features, again, the earthy themes extends from living, dining, all the way through to this basement. Right? And you can see also the space, what the owners have done is they've curated a lot of soft touches. This is a natural green wall, right? They've created along this portion. And this is easily the favorite portion of the basement itself, right? So above this was where we were on level 1 itself, where you have these fluted aluminium panels at the backyard area. So this offers all this natural lighting, natural ventilation. I think very important is on the kind of ventilation that the basement provides itself, right? And beyond here, let's step across. So this pool is actually, again, serving multi-purpose. You are actually not only having a very decent width in terms of the pool, but you also have the length itself. So Irene, maybe you can share more about the pool.
The pool is about 11 meters in length. Not only that, because there is also a heated element next to for the jacuzzi as well as for the pool. Meaning to say, if you want to have a swim, but because of weather it's a bit cold, you can actually turn on the warming function so that the water is slightly heated up
So
for
indeed,
your pleasure.
right, having something that is truly indoors, actually you have lesser maintenance as well because you're more kind of shielded from the elements
Yes.
as well. So you can see the kind of natural lighting coming in, shining down on me itself.
Yes.
So this will be a very private, I think if those that value privacy, this will be one feature that you rarely see in most homes, right? You can have your workout, swimming, relaxation, all on this level, not to mention entertainment,
Yes.
right? I think the owners have also shared throughout the course of their tenure here, they used to host lavish parties, barbecue parties, in
Yes.
fact, here. The
Yeah.
beauty part about it, everything ventilates naturally outwards, right? So you can see what a beauty, why we often coin this as the iconic masterpiece
Definitely.
in Seletar, all right? Because most of us will be more accustomed to just a 2.5-story
Yes.
house, but having a basement, usually people shy away from the thought
Basement.
of basements. They feel that it's dark, gloomy, but
Yes.
to have a swimming pool, that just goes to show how well ventilated, how well
Yes.
designed this house really is from the basement perspective of things,
Yes.
right? So with that, we've covered level 1, level 2. So we'll hand over the time to Vico and Raymond, who will showcase to you the rest of the living areas of level 2 and level 3.
Welcome to level 2 of the house. I think you quite like this area, right? Maybe
Yes,
you want to
Nicole.
let us know how much, why do you like this area?
So as you come into this space here, you can really get a sense of how wide and spacious this
Yes.
entire common area is. So I mean, over here the owners actually have elected to have a nice little
Family area,
family area
resting
here, rest area
area.
here, and this is one of the small little pieces they collected along their travels. So over here, I think gives you a lot of possibility. Yourself, because how would you like to reconfigure this particular space
for here,
itself?
what I like is that over these two sides, you still have window panels to bring in more natural light. So naturally, this can be converted into a room also if you want, and with a
Definitely.
warm mount aircon. So just by configuring another like door and partition wall, so this level can have like a 4 bedrooms. So right now there is 3 bedrooms en suite. We'll show you 2 of the common bedroom on this side. So follow
Come,
us.
let's go.
So one thing about this 2 bedroom, right, they are of similar sizes. So if you want, you can actually do another door over here to combine this 2 bedroom into one. But of course,
definitely.
with more spaces that suits more family needs. So 2 ensuite over here.
Come, let's hear right in. So as you come in, this is one of the common rooms.
So the whole place is very well maintained with already like built-in wardrobe for you ready to move in. Then with an attached bathroom over here, that is with the shower and everything ready with windows for air ventilation.
So one thing that owners would really love is this built-in wardrobe actually is something very special. It's not just 4 panels, but in terms of the opening mechanism, allows you to really open up the whole space. I'm just going to show you. It allows you to really open up the whole wardrobe for you to actually look at your entire collection of clothes and all your accessories. So these are the really interesting bifold features that is incorporated within the design of this particular room itself. So as we head in, you can have a feel of the whole
Yes, how
space.
spacious it is. You see with a queen size, I think it's even a king size bed. You can have an armchair over here, massage chair over here, and you still have a little corner with your TV console and even a sofa. So this whole place is very fully utilized for your own personal space.
Correct. And one thing I like really this room is can become very airy, and with all the natural light coming in on both sides over here and as well over
Yes,
here
also
as well.
over here.
And over at the corner as well, you have a small little window opening, which really allows natural light to come into the room itself. Gives you the sense of space and the comfort that allows our occupants really feel very comfortable within the room itself.
That's right.
So as we head out to the next common room.
Yep, correct. So over here is another common room with the same mechanism that Raymond touched on. So once you pull this bifold door, you can access all your wardrobe and your clothes and everything.
Exactly. Yeah. So over here we have the same configuration in terms of the bathroom. All right, very well fitted. Everything is very functional, and we have the wet and dry separation, which is very essential. And so everything is very well thought of. And in terms of the storage spaces, also in the bathroom, we do have a mirror cabinet, and as well as storage under the sink. So all this helps you to declutter your space and make it look a lot better. All right.
So with that, having said the space that we mentioned, that you can even put a king size bed, a sofa. So all this is very self-suffice. You can change it into another study area or even a guest room, granny room, because this unit is future-proof with the lift. So you can have any space and room that you want.
And similar to the previous room, we do have all these window openings for all the light and natural ventilation to really come in, right? So that's that. Shall we head on to the main
another
feature?
of my main feature
One
that
of Victor's favorite.
Yeah.
All right.
So we are excited to show you the main feature of the house. Having said that, 3 ensuite on this level. So what do we have here?
All right, this is actually 1, 2, 3. Let's go.
So this is the master bedroom.
This is the master bedroom.
Huge and spacious. Yeah.
So just have a feel of the entire space of the master bedroom itself. Yeah. So as we come in, you notice this very grand double leaf door entrance, super wide entrance of more than 2 meters. Now, rarely you see in such houses, such a big wide grand entrance of the master area. So you can see over here, the interior design of the space itself also is aligned with the rest of the house. Small little trimmings of champagne gold along the feature wall of the master headboard. And over here, easily fits a king size. And there's still so much space left on the left and right side of the space, Vico.
So like what Raymond mentioned, I believe that he did mention that the owner spends a lot of time and effort to choose all this finishing so that everything looks so uniform and with like little details of the lights and fluted panels and the color and everything match with, even you see the cabinets over here, the shelving over here, you have all this rose gold trimmings also.
All right, and over here you can see there's still so much space in front, just where Vico is. Even to the extent that even here the owners have elected to have their own paintings over here. But if you really do want to have your own entertainment, your TV console, your TV feature wall, there's still allowance for you to really do that as well. Right. All right, and so, just right behind us, Vico, what do we see?
Okay, so over here, that's the benefit about detached is that you have all the window panels at the side and also at the front part here, where we have. Later we will also be showing you at the top level what the owner did for this area is that the sliding door is the huge format panel, and they have this another part that you have a privacy screening. So when you have your sliding door open, but you can still have your privacy screen over here.
So when we open this panel, this is actually a three-door glass panel, and when we push this panel all the way to the back, you'll be surprised to find there's this
natural lights coming in. And this is the screening.
And this is actually the very functional screening, right? That that was added onto the house. This allows you to have the privacy, at the same time it allows the sunlight to come in, as well as the natural ventilation. All right. So this is something very thoughtful, and it's a design which I think a lot of homeowners will love. All right. So as we push this apart, we are greeted with the a very lovely
balcony area. And I believe that we also going to mention about this. Very created plants that the owner tried to source so that it actually matches their whole layout of the house, the whole design of the house.
Okay, so basically what you'll see here is the owners have actually spent quite a lot of money curating the right type of horticulture for the particular climate and particular facing of this area. So a little bit about the facing of this area. This is very close to a north-south facing. So the good thing about the north-south facing is that you can actually have a lot of natural ventilation coming from the north-south winds, the seasonal winds, and as well you can you don't have not much of with the western sun, so you will really enjoy a very cool
area
master
of the
area
house
because
is
it's not
good ventilation.
it's not covered by the sun. All right, so let's close this up.
Yes.
All right.
And I'm going
No
to show
problem.
you another favorite of the area. So moving over here, we have this little corner where we have a like customized dresser area with all these little cabinets and wardrobes for your storage. So there's no worries that you got no place to keep your stuff. And over here we have the very nice and beautifully selected walk-in wardrobe.
And I think this is something that ladies would really
correct.
love.
So
And
full panels of all this wardrobe that you can fully functional with all your dresses, your clothes and all.
exactly. And if you notice this space here as you come in, there's actually a full-length mirror. All right, and this full-length mirror not just isn't just functional, in terms of allowing you to dress up properly. It also helps you to give the space, a sense of spaciousness as well. Having the mirror here really does help a lot and really does elevate, the whole
feeling of
this space in terms of
so grand.
Correct.
Yeah.
So as we come into this area, so this is actually the ensuite master bathroom.
Yeah.
All right, why don't we come in?
Yes, it's a lovely, lovely space. You see the both of us inside and it's still so huge. So like what we mentioned that this is actually nicely separated into like a dry, wet area.
Exactly.
Yep, and also a dry area over here. Then what we have is a very huge, lengthy space of a him and her basin. And with all this fluted panel, very well maintained cabinets, drawers that you can keep all your things inside and have so nicely manicured space in your bathroom.
And one thing that the owners have actually created within this space itself, if you just look at this area, this black marble feature wall, it's not just any other marble feature wall. If you notice in the middle, there's actually the marble is designed and dry laid in such a way it creates a very nice diamond within this feature wall itself. So it adds a touch of elegance and and luxury within the entire space itself. And not forgetting, just above the diamond, we have the crystal chandelier.
Yes.
So this really elevates the entire space. And not forgetting, we do have the freestanding bathtub as well. So you really get a sense of really how spacious the entire bath area here. And over here, we still have our wall hung WC as well.
Yep.
So, a really lovely master ensuite bath. That's really ideal for the owners.
Classy design that
Exactly.
you will always fell in love with over and over again.
Exactly, Nicole. Yeah.
So moving onwards, we are going to show you another of my favorite level. That's the top level.
Yeah, this house is really full of really wonderful things.
Yes,
Right.
surprises. Yeah.
All right. So, shall we head up to level 3 to check out what's over there?
Okay, sure.
Come, let's head up.
Now we are at the top level of the house. It's actually also one of my favorite area. Why so? Because you see it's so huge with, maybe you want to share about this iconic lighting.
I think one thing I really like about this whole feature of the house is this really iconic luminaire. So you can see this is the origin of the whole luminaire fitting. So you can see this actually follows the entire design language of the house itself with this very nice champagne gold finishing. So all the nice little acrylic light panels actually flow all the way down to the basement, over 12 meters. And I'm not sure whether you have heard from Sean and Irene that actually the owners have spent well over 60,000 just to have this iconic masterpiece engineered precisely so that it actually allows you to showcase to all your guests and the family members. So really this becomes a statement piece within the house itself.
Indeed,
you agree?
one in a kind. Then also if you see over here, they are more uniform with the wallpaper blending throughout the whole level. And from here we have 2 en-suites at this level. So if you are, there's sufficient room for your family, this whole area I think I will convert into my own bedroom and also walk-in wardrobe. But otherwise, if you need the rooms, then you have 2 rooms, bedroom, ensuite. So maybe we take a look at this before we proceed to the other side.
No problem, let's come in.
So the bedroom size is all very good and spacious size that you can put a queen size bed and you still have plenty of space to put even a piano, maybe a sofa bed and a pantry area. Then over here we can see that there's plenty of lights because it's over here the whole flash of the sliding door bringing natural light. So when we open, there will be wind ventilation coming into. Yeah.
And what I like about this space is actually in front, it's still very sizable. It's more than the typical walkway space. So over here, if you want to have your own TV console or feature wall, plenty of space for you to configure that in as well.
Yep.
All right. So as we come in, we will be able to see also the
wardrobe. And
walk-in
maybe
wardrobe.
About this area that I like, there is a window over here. That's what one thing good about detached is that you have windows coming from all sides of the wall and a very little customized area where you can do your dressing or you keep your stationeries and cosmetics over here. So moving on to over there, we have a full 7 panels of wardrobe that maybe you want to share with them.
So as you can see, it's a very impressive walk-in wardrobe. And over here, you can see this full-length mirror. So it just gives you the sense of, how wide and spacious this walk-in wardrobe is. So as we come in, we will be greeted with this ensuite bathroom. All right. So as you come in, you'll be immediately greeted with, the sense of luxury and elegance, right? Over here, we have this whole bathroom is so spacious that we can even have a freestanding bath. Just imagine that. So to add to the touch of luxury, the owners have also added a crystal chandelier just hang right from the top of this very majestic black marble feature wall. So what has been thoughtfully done also is the separation between the wet and the dry with a separate shower area. So a lot of homeowners actually really do appreciate all these small little extra features as well. So over here, one very surprising thing about this bathroom is it's so spacious, it allows you to fit in a him and a hers basin, and a lot of owners are really looking for something like this in a bathroom of this sizing. And not forgetting, over here in this corner here, we have a wall hung WC, something that is a lot of owners appreciate because it's space saving and also very it's a touch of elegance as well. All right, so Vico, what do you like about, how do you feel about this space itself?
Yeah, so you see 2 of us is inside here, and so what I like is that at the end of the day we can just unwind and have a good soak in the bathtub.
Definitely.
So, yeah. Then we'll move on to the other bedrooms. And so before we move on to the other bedroom, there's also storage on this level, so not to worry about not having enough space to keep your items.
Definitely.
Yeah. Then over here we have the utility room, and one thing I understand that the owner spends a lot of effort to build this area where we can showcase the souvenirs from travels from all around the world. So maybe you can share with us about all this.
So as you can see over here, we have a very generously sized display. Also in the same design language as the rest of the house, you can see this very nice fluted panel with this display light over here. Just really draws attention to the audiences coming to here to really admire all the travel pieces that the owner has carefully collected. So this adds a touch of really personality and a bit of warmth to the house as well, because every house, when you come in, you get to see what the owners have actually collected. Every piece is really a story that you can share with your family and your guests. So this goes all the way in. So you can see over here, there's also a very affable teddy bear. This very large teddy bear that's collected by the owners. So you get to see a lot of small little curated pieces that the owners have brought to the house as well. So before we come into the next room, you can also see over here, how deep the storage space.
Correct.
In terms of not just the display, but also the under cabinetry space. And this also allows you to, if you have other things to store, like for example, Vico, what do you think you will use this space for?
Yeah, so for here, if you realize that the little tiny details that the rose gold trimmings is actually can be found throughout the whole area. So over here, what will I do? I think, it being this, if I can convert to my own space, I will have a little pantry area over here Then, you know, guests or friends coming here, we can just chill out on this level.
Right.
Yeah, correct.
No problem.
Yeah.
All right. So as we come into this final room,
Yeah.
all right. So basically, you can see, just get a feel of the size, the expanse of the room. Even though this is a 2.5 story, but I think when you come in, you don't feel that, you know, this is small at all. And in fact, over here, you know, the owners have actually used this as their own entertainment and study area. So, but over here, if you'd like to reconfigure this room, how would you actually reconfigure if you are planning to use this for your own space?
So for here, right, the owner is using as a study area, but for me, I will probably change it into like a gym area or like a entertainment area where I will clear out the things. Then we have plenty of space where you just probably install some mirrors over there. Then because we have plenty of natural light over here.
Exactly.
Yeah, a huge panel of sliding door. Then we can even put a sofa over here. Yeah. So moving on, maybe I also do understand there's something special about the sliding door over here.
All right. So as we head out to the balcony area, so let's have one of the openings.
Yeah.
So as we push this all the way through, you'll get a very nice. You get to feel all the ventilation, the lights coming in. Okay, and then over here, what the owners really appreciate is really the landed facing. This is facing the entire landed enclave of the whole Seletar Hills. All right, and this is actually very quiet and private. And this is one area that the owners really love to come out and enjoy during the evenings. All right, and over here you can see it's also very sizable. You have some of this very nicely curated horticulture.
Yes.
Correct.
Plants,
And then the owners actually have spent a lot of time finding the right type of horticulture that grows in this specific climate in terms of the sunlight that comes here in the corridor area. And not forgetting, Viko was sharing about this very interesting. This is actually a divider. It doubles up as a privacy divider. So when you have it closed, it provides a bit of privacy, but at the same time, it allows actually natural light to filter in, as well as, you know, a bit of the ventilation to come in as well. So this is some of the small little touches that adds a bit of you know, functionality to the whole space as well. And this is something that, you know, a lot of homeowners are actually looking towards.
Yeah, this is how it is like. You know, when you close it up, you can still see outside, but there's a privacy screening. Yeah.
Exactly. So not forgetting, we still have the day and light curtains.
Yeah.
You know, if you need additional privacy, all right. So moving forward, not forgetting this space also has an ensuite bath, and you shall see, Viko.
Yeah. So if you realize that all the items over here that furnishing it are very well maintained, so this is like a bifold door where you can utilize the full space, and it's all very well maintained, ready to move in. You don't have to do much things. You can see the condition of the house that is being well kept, and we have an attached bathroom over here. Then what you can see over here is that there's two panels, big panels of windows, which can bring natural ventilation into the place, and a separate shower area with a little sink over here. So this whole place, room is actually fully functional, and you can convert into additional space that you need for your family, or just use it as like a study area. So with this, we will go down and join Sean and Irene at the basement.
All right, thank you, Viko and Raymond. So now, again, for this house, all right, I think it's truly a spectacle of sorts. All right, it's very hard to come by, even in the greater northeast region, for a detached that is not only recently built, all right, nicely renovated with all these designer accents, yet featuring 2.5 with a very expensive basement itself. I think Irene will concur.
Yes, not only that, they also have a lift that caters to the elderly needs as well.
Yeah, so not only the fact that, you know, what I personally like is that level 1 and basement is fully open and flexible in terms of the usability for hosting gatherings and a lot of communal spaces. How about you, Viko?
Yeah, so I like the impressive 4-level of usable space, and it's well spaced with 5 en-suites, which suits most of the family needs. How about Raymond?
I really love the very wide frontage coming into the house where you can park 4 cars, and of course look at the very wide outdoor space. It's ideal for green fingers and all your outdoor parties.
Yeah, not to mention the very expensive, backyard outside the dining kitchen area. That's a very, very welcome addition that most homeowners find it very rare in today's market.
Yeah.
So a house like this with number of rooms, the kind of levels, kind of provisions, high ceilings, and really essentially move-in condition. In terms of the pricing wise, compared to the greater expense of the region itself, even brand new houses may not have this to match per se. So for this house, asking at above 10 million, offers a lot of utility and ultimately is really in a move-in condition state. It's an offer not to be missed.
Yes.
Right? So if any of you are keen to view or to find out more about this house, do feel free to reach out to any one of us. Once again, I'm Sean.
I'm Irene.
I'm Raymond.
I'm Vico.
See you at the next episode next year at Huttons Landed Divisions.
Live Open House!